Alright, guys, today we're going to be reacting to how Spanish helped my German. American Germany. Interesting. How Spanish helped my German. American in Germany. You know that some of you guys were saying that some of the Spanish pronunciation were closer to pronounce German words than English. That's gonna be interesting because even though I don't know if German comes from the Latin or the Romance languages, I guess I don't know. Yeah, I have to really see it, and then I will let you know. I will let you know, right? So make sure you like to subscribe. Also be part of the Discord. Links in the description, folks. Links in the description. Also in the comment section as a pinned comment. Let's see what's going on.
I'm going to talk about language learning. More specifically, how my second language, Spanish, helped in learning my third language, German.
My second language, Spanish. Okay, let's hear what you have to say.
Hello, Liebelings. I'm Madi, science fiction and fantasy author who's been living in southern Germany since 2014. Today, we're going to talk about my German language learning journey and how, especially in the beginning, when I found myself in a bind, I found that Spanish helped. If you're new here, welcome. I am half Peruvian, half American, thus the trio. So I already had a good basis of language acquisition because I grew up speaking two. But before we continue with the episode, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell if you haven't already. Here on Adventures of Lamati, we talk about writing, living abroad, and everything in between. My first language was actually Spanglish. It's a mix of English and Spanish. It is very common in children of bicultural households. If you follow Antoinette Emily, who is a Kiwi living here in Germany, she is raising her kids speaking the one parent, one language method. And that's how I was raised. My mother always spoke Spanish. My dad always spoke English. And in the beginning, what came out of my mouth was a weird mix of the two until I started socializing with kids in preschool.
Yeah. We have to be careful with that method. No, you have to teach your kids not only the languages, but the structures of the language. Yeah, and a lot of kids, they go through that, especially Puerto Ricans. They end up learning the language wrong. Spanish and English, both of them. Because they don't have a strong sense of structure. You have to be very careful with that. Even though it is better, it's better than nothing. I agree, it's better than nothing. However, it just missed the most important aspect, which is structure. Languages do have structures. Structures are very important. So if both parents are speaking, one parent speaking English, the other one is speaking Spanish, I think that's great. However, you have to sit down with them and teach them structure, and that way that language is strong, and they do not end up, speaking like Spanglish or something like that, like a mix of English and Spanish. No, they know how to take their hat for English and put their hat or take their hat, speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like they know how to just change for Spanish when it needed and English when it needed. They don't go like this.
And then I learned to differentiate between the two. I did study Spanish in school and eventually got a degree in Spanish with an...
Okay, so there you go. She did it right there. That's what you need. Get some of the bases, but then later on, get some structure in that language, because if you don't, you end up just doing something else, and native from the language will not understand what you're saying. They might understand something, but not quite, because it happens to me. When I went to New York City, there were people that supposedly spoke Spanish for certain cultures, and I couldn't understand them. It sounded Spanish, and they thought it was Spanish, but I'm listening. I'm like, man, your Spanish needs work, bro. Like literally needs work. I'm just saying that from experience, bro.
Emphasis in literature and linguistics. All in all, learning language is fun. Though when I was younger and going through this weird phase where I refused to speak Spanish at all, my mother decided to get even with my stubbornness and send me to Peru by myself. The first time I was about 13. I stayed with relatives. I have a lot of relatives but only 2 spoke English. So talk about being thrown in the deep end. But I loved it. I went to Peru every summer for a few years, and my Spanish improved each time. And I did finally hit fluency when I studied abroad in Sevilla, Spain, as part of my degree. I had also studied German in university and almost minored in the language, but in the end I didn't have time because I was already busy with biology and Spanish. So anyway, fast forward to my moving to Germany. I had arrived on a Saturday, and I started my new job, which was 100% in German, that following Monday.
Wow.
Again, deep end, thrown in, lots of splashing. The first way Spanish helped was putting me in the most important mentality you need to have when you've moved to a new country with a new language. Just start speaking. Don't worry about being grammatically correct. Worry about being understood. Because what you need is confidence. Confidence is a great motivator because learning a language in a new country is a lifelong journey.
Man, yeah.
You are here for the...
I like her. She has very good advice so far. Yeah, you have to speak it. You know what's the problem with a lot of Puerto Ricans? Right? Why we suck not only in Spanish and English, especially English. We don't speak the language. And I'm telling you folks, I've been studying English since I was 4. My entire life. Struggle with the language a lot because I never really used it that much or that often. As soon as I moved to the mainland, that first day I said to myself, I'm just only using English, and I'm limiting or minimizing my contact with my family when it comes down to Spanish, because I really want to learn the language. In a matter of weeks, it's just start coming together. By the month, I was already fluent in the language. So you have a great point, and I'm glad that she's touching in this because I want to be in that position where I only need to speak the language.
Long haul, and if you don't feel confident in your ability, it will make your journey to fluency that much harder. Once you get the hang of making yourself understood, then you can focus on bettering your grammar at the same time. Trust me, when I first moved to Germany, the majority of the folks here were more than happy to help me in the beginning. I spoke like a child, and it was really frustrating because I worked as a microbiologist and I had the knowledge, but my vocabulary was in the wrong language, so to speak. But I learned and I kept at it. Another and albeit more fun way Spanish has helped me is when I didn't know a word in German and I guessed with the Spanish word, it worked.
Really? Yeah,
Not all the time, but like enough to kind of see a bit of a pattern. You see, German also has Latin influences.
Really?
I mean, Italy is like right there.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, really? I would never think, or I would never thought that German has Latin influences. It doesn't look in their language. You see what I'm saying?
And the Romans tried to conquer parts of what is now Germany. So there have been times where you have words like genial and genial. So it's, great. Or like some other words that are very similar between the two languages would be bibliothek and biblioteca, bluse, blusa, definition and definition, deprimieren, deprimirse, detail, detalle, discusión, discusión.
Oh, look at that, folks. Look at that. I think we got a shortcut. Detail, detalle, discusión, digieren, dirigir, droguería. This is fun.
Dirigieren and dirigir, drogerie, drogería, duschen, ducharse, Fieber, Fiebre, Familie, Familia, Kampagne, Campaña, Kollege, Kollegen, Kollega, Karton, Karton, Limonade und Limonada.
Wow.
And many more.
Okay. I was wondering, man, because I was thinking she's right, because I was going through some of the startup, right? I was trying to just start my German practices, and all of a sudden I'm like, God damn, this is kind of far away, man. I'm trying to learn. Actually, I'm trying to learn German from English, and I'm like, man, this is far away. That's interesting.
Of course, that obviously doesn't work, especially with like the words like pute, which in German means turkey, and in Spanish, puto means male prostitute. So you can imagine my surprise. First time my mother-in-law said we were going to have a male prostitute for Christmas dinner. Obviously, she meant turkey, but you saw where my mind went, right? Right? Anyway, I am so grateful for having Spanish in my life because it really helped with my German. I'm quite sure my journey in learning German would have been a lot harder without it. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up. It lets me and YouTube know you like this kind of content and you like this chuyo.
Oh man,
and you want to see more of the chuyo.
She don't have a lot of views. That's interesting. Hey man, let's show some love, man. That's not a lot of views, really. Hopefully I can just...
Please leave me a comment if you have any questions or if there's a certain topic you'd like to see on this channel. Or just more chuyos. If you want fun escapism, my space fantasy of the God Queen is available in ebook, paperback, and hardback. The sequel, The Last Imperator, is also available for pre-order. And don't forget, if you have pre-ordered, sign up for the TLI pre-sale giveaway. If you've signed up for my newsletter, you'll get the first 6 chapters of the God Queen as well as the prequel short story, The Knight and the Goddess. So sign up. Also, if you've read any of my work or the work of your favorite author, please leave a review. They really help us authors out, and it is free to do so. And don't forget to connect with me on social media, whether it is through Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Until next time, adi.
Adios. Adios, adi, adios. Wow. Well, certainly she helped. Oh, man, I'm excited. Slowly but surely, these are some of the shortcuts that clearly are going to be having on my mind when I start learning the language. But I think she's right. The talking German, being exposed to talk German is the most important thing, or learning a new language, that is. It's going to be the most important part of this. But the structure, folks, has to be there as well. You cannot go through this journey of learning the language and you're not even understanding the structure, because you're going to mess up big time. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This was very cool. I think she's right, though. Spanish and German, that's the way to go. That is the way to go. In the meantime, guys, I'll see you in the next one.